From17 once again, bringing you the continuation of the prologue on this Bulletstorm very hard video walkthrough. And this is chapter 1 on the road to hell, this prologue, and it's the introduction to the game basically. And I'm just going to continue on from a couple of things I mentioned on my last video about what makes the game challenging and what makes the game interesting. For this first section, just use your leash and you'll pull them onto the spikes. It's dead simple. You don't have to waste any ammo on those guys. And that's a good segue actually, because this game can be very difficult if you don't have ammo. And the reason I'm saying that is because there was one section later on where you take on enemies that actually dodge your leash. And I got in a room full of them and I had absolutely no bullets for any gun. And that room was one of the more challenging parts of the game. And when I played it my second time through and I knew to have a lot of ammo for that section, it was as easy as everything else. So this is pretty much a warning from the start of this game to the end of the game that if you don't make sure you have a constant flow of ammunition, you're probably going to have a really tough time with this game. Because enemies do take a ton of damage. It's not the most precise of shooters, so your bullets aren't always going to go where you want them to, especially with the enemies and their abilities to take damage, so just bear that in mind. And there might be a couple of you thinking, oh well, you can just use the environment and push people onto stuff and various measures like that. Well, you can for a majority of this game, but there is the odd occasion where it just won't cut it and you have to use good old-fashioned guns, so just always be prepared and just always do your thing basically. And a couple of notes about the life system on this as well. You'll notice the corners of my screen went red, like it does on pretty much every first-person shooter in this last blooming decade. And on this game, when your screen is red, it means you're hurt, but you're okay for the most. As soon as you see the blood on your screen afterwards, that little blood picture that comes up randomly wherever you get hit, that means you are one hit away from dying, so that means you definitely have to take cover. If your screen's red, you're generally fine because there aren't that many enemies that can hit you hard enough to kill you from that screen. They will always put you to the blood screen, which means you have to take cover. It even says on the screen, take cover. Two exceptions to that rule. One is probably the shotgun guys, because the shotgun guys are very powerful up close, and an enemy that you don't fight till the end of the game, which I'll talk about later because I don't want to spoil it for anybody that's playing this along with their walkthrough of the game, their playthrough should I say. And aside from that, you're okay. As a rule of thumb, when you get hit by an enemy at close range on very hard, it should take, give or take, 3 melee hits to kill you. The first one will damage you, the second one will put you to the red blood screen, the third one will kill you. So if you're up close and personal with these enemies, which you really shouldn't be unless you're messing about with the skill shots, that's pretty much how much you're going to be able to take. And for this part here, if you just sit in a corner, you can pick whichever one you want and leash these guys towards the electricity. You can just keep kicking them into the electrical current and kill them really easily without firing your gun. And then this place is going to go to hell, and that happens. Don't worry, it's meant to happen, it happens every time. As I say, this game is highly scripted, and get used to seeing black screens as it goes in between loading and cutscenes, because the game uses a lot of dialogue during black screens, which is kind of artistic, but sometimes it's a little bit annoying because we want to play, damn it. And this is another one of those interactive cutscenes I mentioned in the last video where you have to watch the atrocities at hand and then act afterwards. A little note on the quick time events in this game. The faster you do them, the more you are rewarded with upgrade points. And if you do one perfectly, you will get 500 points. If you do it slower, you will get less. And if you do it it's an entire spectrum of amount that you can get from those quick time events, all the way from 500 to like 100 something. So be aware of that. But this is the end of the prologue chapter. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching and you take care now.